Good morning, Mom. Good morning, classmates. My report is about the story of the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. About the author, Clive Staples Lewis, or famously known as C.S. Lewis, born November 29, 1898 at Belfast, Ireland. Died November 22, 1963 at Oxford, United Kingdom. Parents, father's name Albert Lewis and mother's name Florence Hamilton Lewis. Sibling Barney Lewis. He is an Irish-born scholar, novelist, broadcaster, and author of about 40 books. Many of them are on Christian apologetics, including the Screwtape Letters and Mere Christianity. His works of greatest lasting fame may be the Chronicles of Narnia, a series of 7 children's books that have become classics of fantasy literature. He started reading at 3 and started writing stories at 5 about fantasy land populated by diverse animals. His first successful work of fiction was Out of the Silent Planet at 1938 and followed by the equally successful Perelandra at 1943 and That Hideous Strength at 1945. These 3 books are known as one of the earliest and best of science fiction trilogies. In 1929, he abandoned atheism and converts to theism. September 1931, he converts to Christianity. Late in life, Lewis married Joy David Mann Gresham, an American poet and writer who had become a Christian in part through reading Lewis' books. The two began a correspondence in 1950 while she was still married to the writer William Gresham. By 1954, she and her husband, who had been unfaithful, were divorced and she was living in England, becoming a close friend of Lewis. They wed in secret civil ceremony in April 1956 to give her the legal right to remain in England. Months later, Joy David Mann Gresham diagnosed with advanced cancer. In March 1957, they were married by an Anglican priest who prayed that she would be healed. Miracle happened, allowing them several years together until the cancer returned and she died in July 1960. In early 1963, Lewis wrote his last book, Letters to Malcolm, and in the summer of 1963, he retired from his post at Cambridge a few months before his death. The 5 elements of fiction. First, the plot. During the World War II, the 4 English siblings, Lucy, Peter, Edmund, and Susan, are sent to the countryside. One day, Lucy finds a wardrobe that transports her to a magical world called Narnia. After coming back from that place, she soon returns to Narnia with her siblings. The children enter Narnia and discover that the White Witch has taken Tumnus. Aslan returns to Narnia and breaks the witch spell, and when the Christmas arrives, Edmund betrays his siblings and must forfeit his life to the White Witch. The witch murders Aslan, who has sacrificed his life so that Edmund can live, and soon after, Aslan resurrects and the final battle between the witch forces and Aslan's followers began. After the long battle, the 4 siblings are crowned as kings and queens of Narnia. Many years later in Narnian time, they find their way back through the wardrobe where no time at all has passed in England. The setting. World War II era England 19,000. Taken at the magical land of Narnia. The author describes the setting dark, cold, and frightening. The characters, protagonist, Lucy, Susan, Peter, and Edmund Pevensie, and of course Aslan, the Lion King. The antagonist, the White Witch, Jadis, and other characters, Mr. Tumnus, Professor Kirky, the Beaver, and the Mogrim. Point of view: the narrator speaks in third person and focuses on what the children can observe. The narrator is omniscient, which means he knows everything and knows the hidden motives and emotions of the characters. The narrator alternates between providing insight into the action and thoughts of Lucy, Aslan, and Edmund. The theme: good versus evil, betrayal and forgiveness, courage, family, magic, and sacrifice. Trivias. Did you know that Aslan in the novel The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe represents Jesus and also called the King of the Wood, the son of the Emperor over the sea? And also, did you know that Tumnus in the novel represents many biblical characters such as Judas, as he betrays his Lord for the enemy. He is also akin to the Apostle Paul as he works for the devil or the witch in the beginning of the novel and then finds his way back to the God by the end. So, that's all, and thank you.